Smaller group today. Last Wednesday, what we had about 12 people. Today, a little bit lighter. I kind of felt like it would be a small class today. Lots of, got a couple of them. Spoke too soon. We just almost doubled our class. Good morning. Perfect time. Pick a spot, any spot. Is this your first time?
Yes, it is.
All right. Why don't I have you come over here then, just so that you have a good view. Good morning. I think you've got a good line of sight. Morning, go. So, it's Wednesday. It's sunny, it's beautiful. I was having visions of spring in my head during my meditation, and seeing us outside in the park doing this as soon as the weather really arrives. We'll probably do it now with a few layers. Another few weeks. Then I began to get visions of seedlings beginning to open up and sprouts breaking ground and flowers bursting into the sun. And then strangely I felt this sense of pain deep in my gut. I was like, what's that about? I went back to the root, and when the seed begins to crack open and that flower struggling through layers of dirt or ground, and how it's just pushing to get up and out, to the light. And some constriction energy about, how to be cocooned or pressed in that space for, 4 to 5, 6 months perhaps, maybe longer, until you're set free or until you push through. Not unlike perhaps a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, or a chicken emerging from an egg. There's this bit of a struggle. There's this fight, if you would, to break free. And then once that happens, life begins to express itself. And so, this past weekend on Saturday, we had a Healing Arts Expo here. And we're having it here at the Sacred Embodiment Center every Saturday from 10 to 5. And you can come and have services. It's all donations and it supports the center. There's some free talks, and at the end of the day, there's a healing circle facilitated by a different person every week. And this last Saturday, it was a woman named D.L. Siesca here from Asheville. Amazing sound healing circle. And I was asked to participate by sitting in the middle of the circle of people, approximately, probably I would say there was about 10 folks there, me and one other person laid in the center. And a third laid outside of the circle. And all three of us represented essentially the planet, all the beings on the planet that the people around the circle would facilitate a healing for in whatever fashion they felt. And our job was to receive the healing on behalf of all sentient beings. No small undertaking, I assure you. And then, if we felt so drawn, we could participate in it by sending energy out, if we were so, to all the people that were facilitating the healing. And they would represent, equally as well, healers willing to be healed. So an interesting dynamic, and it was mostly kind of ad-lib and with the flow. We had instruments and people used their voices, and there was some dancing and there was some music in the background, but it was just completely led by Spirit. And as I was lying in the circle, eyes closed, open to receiving, I began to have a journey take place. Part of it was up and out, kind of seeing the whole big cosmos. And I saw this battle, if you would, between light and dark, good and evil, whatever you want to call it, positive and negative. And it was intense to where my body started shaking. I could see these energy forces on higher levels begin to just pull and push. You know, something that's been going on for millennia, for eons, for billions, if not infinite number of years. And how that was a very present moment right now going on. And I can feel the tug of war happening within people that was being represented on this higher level. And then all of a sudden a shaft of light kind of shot right through the center of it and down through towards the earth and kind of in the spot where we were and down into me, and it was, I went into the earth. Went to the very core, and in QiGong, in this practice in the beginning, you guys will get to experience this, we get to visualize going into the heart of this planet, another sentient being, Mother Nature, and all her beauty, glory, and work. And I felt this constriction, I felt these pains begin to hit me on the lower level, akin to labor pains, cramps. And this shaft of light was shooting down and just energizing, going right into that spot, and yet spreading out beyond everything. And there was this process where, as that happened, and I wasn't verbalizing what I was going through, there was all of this grunting and heavy breathing going on externally from around me, as if everybody was sympathizing with the labor process. It was fascinating. And then as soon as a rebirthing occurred within that process for me, and a letting go, and a releasing, and I saw tiny, tiny releases of energy from the planet and among the planet and on the planet, and everybody began to just kind of get it and wake up, if you will, and something was being revealed through that painful process. The tonality and the shift of everything that was going on around me also changed. People began owning and humming and singing melodic sounds. And it was like I couldn't really choreograph this any better than what was happening. It was one was leading the other, and the other was responding in kind, without words. And it's a very exciting time right now, because right now I'm feeling, over the last couple of days and since since Saturday, I've been feeling this heaviness, this kind of thick muck of energy that's just kind of sitting and pressing, and it's like the soil on top of the seed, and the seed is just ready to burst forth. And the sun is shining, the beams of light are coming down, and it knows some very big event is about to occur. It's going to break ground. And that's a bit where we are right now as a planet and as beings, and I think going through this year. There's a lot of intensity going on in 2010, a lot of letting go, a lot of turmoil, a lot of transition in people's lives. A lot of people moving here to this town. I was one of them. Still people coming, still people moving, still people transitioning. And I said to many of the people that I was working with last year, good morning. I know it's hard, and I know it's tough, but this is preparation for something even bigger coming down the line. So, just get ready. This is all practice. something significant. And there's parts of me that wishes I was just making it up, you know? But then there's other parts that know, and there's confirmations from all around. If you just talk to people with their individual experiences about what they're going through, you realize, hey, we're all sharing the same journey in different ways. And there's a prediction of a next wave of energy, a very huge, one of 3 that is coming in the month of March. Channeled messages, people who are in contact with angel beings and so on and so forth, in conversation with source. So it's as if this is a bit of the beginning of the wave of energy that is about to come and really kind of change and transform. And it seems appropriate, it is appropriate that it would be happening right about springtime. March and April. Think about storms, you know, the massive thunderstorms and the changing of the guard from winter to spring. And how that can be a pretty intense time just within our weather patterns. And some saying that, you know, this year alone we'll have more intense weather patterns. Things are moving that intensely in that pattern. And to what we're moving towards, there will be some that claim to know. I have my own idea, as I'm sure some of you do. But whatever it is, I think it'll be no less than epic. And the only real strong message that I'm getting from my personal inner guidance and those that higher beings that I talk to, God, the universe, source, angels, is that now is the time to really get ready for something else. And in order to be ready for that, we have to go in and not be afraid of these dark and constrictive times. To push through, to breathe through, to let go, and to come out on the other side of how can I love even more greatly than I did before. How can I be as more compassionate? I spoke to this on Monday, love and compassion. With every single moment, interaction that I have. Even for those who might not hold the same compassion for us back. That's the real test. It's easy to love someone else who loves you back. It's easy to love someone who even likes you. But how can I love all the other beings who don't even know me, let alone might not even care for me? And that's the epic shift that we, I think, are moving into. Some call it the Christ consciousness. You know, others will call it the Great Awakening. You know, the mass evolution of consciousness on this planet. And it's exciting. But there's still going to be this ebb and flow. And I think one of the things that you will get through the practice of understanding chi, of understanding energy, which when we tap into this energy, this internal source, this internal antenna, and then get in touch with the energy of this planet, and then extend that out into the higher energies of the universe, the universal energy, you will become more awake and aware of what the subtleties are going on all around you. You can't help it. You're fine-tuning your antennas through this process. And in some ways that can be very, very challenging, because then you start to feel and intuit and see and maybe dream a little bit more lucidly and intensely in a different way, or see things and pay attention to all little fine lines that go on all around you. And for a while that can drive you pretty crazy. But then you get it. And then you're able to kind of be with someone and know where someone is without a word. Without a thought. And you can just be in that place of being. And express in the right appropriate time if necessary what it is that you have to express. But out of pure connection. Out of love and compassion. It's a powerful thing. And so I congratulate and honor you all for being here, being willing to kind of tap into the higher and deeper realms of Qi and Gong, how it moves around this planet, and how it's moving even faster and more intensely. And then when it sits for a while. That doesn't mean that it ever stops really moving. It's always kind of giving us the opportunity to look at things. So seedlings, many of them just starting to sprout, others still under that pressure and about to burst forth. There's going to be some strong rains that are going to nourish all of us. We will be in that place, if we so choose. Ready for it, and not fearful, because there will be a lot of fear already about what it is all about. So I encourage you to continue to move through that, let it go.